Making a contact sheet is a simple step-by-step process. I'll show you how in this video, and then you'll go in the darkroom and practice for yourself. So here we are in the darkroom. You'll need to cut your film up into strips and put them in your sleeves, and you'll work at the enlarger that you feel comfortable with. Step 1 is to simply move your easel out of the way. We won't be using the easels for our contact sheets. Step 2, just put your negatives down onto the baseboard here. Step 3 is we'll turn the enlarger on with the silver switch. Remember, the silver switch goes down, the enlarger goes on. Step 4 is to get the height of your enlarger so that the light will flood around your film. With this film, I'm going to turn it this way. Adjust the height of the enlarger with the crank arm. This way you'll get the light just a little bit bigger than your film sleeve. And we'll just lower it down a little bit so the light is just a little bigger than my film. So the next step is to adjust our focus. You want to make sure the edge of your light is in sharp focus. Adjust the focus of the light with the focusing wheel. Remember, you want a sharp edge to your light. After you have the light the right height and the right focus, you'll want to turn your aperture down. As I said earlier in the semester, you want to go down to the dimmest plus 1, f11. Make sure that you adjust your aperture down to the dimmest plus 1, f11. At this point, you can slide your safe light filter in front of your light. We'll make a red safe zone. Now we can turn our enlarger off. You have everything set up perfectly now, and so you have to go into the other room to get materials. A test strip, small strip of photo paper, a piece of glass, and a piece of mat board. I'll be back in 1 minute. So from the counter you'll get a piece of glass, a piece of mat board, and a photo test strip. We need the light to pass down through our enlarger, through the film, and onto the photo strip. So we'll make sure that the photo strip goes down first. You want to make sure that your photo strip is perpendicular to your negatives, not parallel. Photo strip, negatives, glass. Make sure your negatives are mountain side up. Curl those up like a mountain, not down like a valley. Paper, film, glass. Glass goes on top, holds the negatives flat. The photo paper goes underneath the film and the glass, shiny side up. Make sure it's perpendicular to your film. The glass will hold the film flat. You want to make sure you set your timer at 5 seconds. Line a little mark up on the ring to 5. Now you'll be able to control the light source for 5 exact seconds. To create your test strip, you'll put the mat board and you'll cover all of the film strips except the first half. Use your timer on 5 seconds. Flip it off. Use the timer button. Light goes on for 5 seconds. After 5 seconds, slide the mat board down into the middle of the next film strip. Put the timer on for 5 seconds. Slide it into the middle of the next film strip. 5 seconds. This is the 4th time. I want to do it a total of 5 times. And the 5th and final time. Pretty simple procedure. Slide your mat board out of the way. Give your glass over to your next partner. There you go, Stevie. And take your test strip and drop it into the developer. So we have to take the test strip and drop it into the developer chemical. Slide the paper in. Immediately agitate the tray. Rock the boat. Use your tongs with the chemicals so you don't get them on your fingers. Slowly rock the boat every couple of seconds to keep the developer chemical moving evenly over your whole piece of paper. You want your paper to develop for a total of 1 to 1.5 minutes. Remember that you can use the timer. It's alright if more than one students put their test strips in at the same time. There's plenty of room. After a minute to a minute and a half, you have to move the test strip into the stop bath. Again, using your tongs, carefully slide it underneath and grab onto your photo paper. Shake a little of the excess developer off. Move it into the stop bath tray. Leave your tongs with the developer. You'll agitate the tray and keep your test strip in the stop bath for 30 seconds. Remember, stop bath is what stops the developing process. After 30 seconds, we'll want to use our tongs and move our test strip into the fixer. Again, carefully, grab your test strip, shift it to the fixer tub. Photo paper needs to be fixed for a total of 2 to 4 minutes. I like to fix for 3 minutes, right in the middle. Agitate every 30 seconds or so. Avoid touching the chemicals with your fingers by using the tongs. After 2 minutes, move the test strip from the fixer into the water. After you rinse off your test strip, you have to take it out to the white light to see it. Your test strip will look like this. It should be an area that's white all the way up to an area that's black. Our test strips help us distinguish what time is going to be best to expose our photo paper to. Okay? The white area was covered by mat board the whole time, so that's 0 seconds. From there we can count up using the sprocket holes. So we have 0 in the white, and then our first set of sprocket holes is 5, our second set is 10, third is 15, our fourth is 20, and the very last edge is 25. So what we want to distinguish is where are the sprocket holes getting dark and where can we expose our entire paper to. For this case, we have between 5 and 10. So we make this contact sheet for 7 seconds. After assessing your test strip in white light and choosing a time, you'll have to come back into Darkroom to make your full contact sheet. We chose 7 seconds. Now I'll need to take a full sheet of photo paper, put it underneath my film. I'll take my glass bag from little Stevie here, put it carefully on top of my film to hold it flat. Paper, film, glass. Always make sure your paper is shiny side up. I'll replace my safe light so I can make sure that my film and paper is in the right area. I'll set my timer at the correct time, 7 seconds. I'll turn off my light with the silver switch, slide my safe light out of the way. I'll use my timer button to expose my paper to 7 seconds of white light. Following the 7 seconds, I'll process my photo paper in the developer trays just as I process my test strip. After you've processed your sheet through the chemicals, you want to make sure you give it a 5-minute water rinse. You want moving water over your print for 5 minutes. The end result should look something like this. A full print of each one of your negatives. We'll be able to look at this and decide which picture you should enlarge.